of solution I've implemented directly by myself, right? So I have a better understanding, okay, what kind of challenges these guys are facing, the industry is facing, right? And how they're solving by applying a tool like Jenkins, right? So in this training, I'm going to give you a lot of use cases. We will solve those use cases practically. We are going to create a lot of projects in this training, not one or two, lots of projects we are going to complete in this training, complete practically. Okay, some basic projects, some kind of very, very advanced project that normally you will see as an advanced level of challenges in the industry, right? So take this training, guys, as a very serious note, because nowadays, whichever domain you guys want to work on, okay, it is not only that it is only related to IT domain or admin. Okay, maybe you want to work on AI or maybe machine learning. Maybe you want to go in the world of security. Maybe if you want to work in the cloud world, right? Whichever field you would like to work, okay, everywhere nowadays we need automation. Okay, when I say automation is a big term altogether. Okay, we have to follow some rules, certain guidance, certain way, methodology. Okay, mostly those methodology come under the name called DevOps. Okay, so in this training, guys, I will explain you every term, right? What is DevOps? If you guys does not know what is the actual meaning of DevOps, we will discuss in this training. What is automation? We'll discuss in this training. Okay, but what I'm trying to tell you, okay, your machine learning journey won't be complete without DevOps. It's called MLOps. Your security training or security field does not cover without DevOps. It's called DevSecOps. Okay, you want to work something on the cloud without DevOps, so cloud ops, IT ops, okay, does not complete, right? You can't do much. You will be constrained yourself somewhere. Okay. So you say, hey, I want to work something data science and machine learning and AI, right? Maybe guys, well, I have some connection loss for last some few seconds, so you guys didn't miss anything. So let me again explain, right, what I was talking about. So point is, uh, does not matter, guys, whichever field you are in. Okay, you need automation, you need DevOps skill, and to implement the DevOps skill, okay, you need tools. And one more tool that you can use in the DevOps world, and that is very, very core tool, is called Jenkins, right? So in this training, guys, first of all, this training will be completely 100% practical, hands-on. Second thing is we are going to cover lots of projects that I explained to you, a lot of use cases practically we're going to implement. There will be some use cases you might not able to find in Google also. You won't find any blogs and articles on those use cases to be implemented. So I have solved those use cases in the industry. I'll share those knowledge to you here and also show you practically how can you solve those advanced use cases. But advanced does not mean you need to know a lot of things beforehand. Okay, I will go through step by step, explain every concept. Okay, so that you can also understand and you can also implement those level of use cases. Okay, but before I go ahead, okay, you should know what is automation. You should know what is DevOps. Okay, so right now, what I'm going to do for the today's plan, I'm going to explain you this concept. And when I said DevOps, then one more concept gonna come up here. It's called CI/CD pipeline or CI/CD concept also gonna uh, come up. And slowly, slowly, what you will see when I start explaining this concept, then I will start introducing you a tool or software called Jenkins. Okay, that's what you will see in today. So today I'm going to explain you a lot of concepts, setting the database for DevOps and CI/CD pipeline, and plus today we also see some uh, practical part, how to install the Jenkins and do something over there for automation purpose. Okay, so today is the first day I know, but I'm planning to cover a lot many things about the Jenkins. Okay, but again I'm repeating guys same thing. Okay, that is does not matter whichever field you are in, right? Without DevOps, okay, culture and the methodology, we can't grow much. Okay, that is a reason if you see any industry, right? Okay, they completely rely on DevOps. They need a DevOps. Okay, and when the DevOps come up, we always need automation tool. And whenever automation tool come up, there will be a lot of product available in the automation world to do the complete end-to-end automation. One of the famous tool is not the only, but one of the famous tool is the Jenkins. They have other competitors also like Circle CI, Team City, Hudson, Bamboo, many more. Okay, but the core concept is same for everyone. The look and feel will be different, the command line may be something different, but the core concept will be same. So if you know Jenkins, if you want to work on other tool, you can do very easily. Okay, but if you only talk about Jenkins, that has huge market, right? So if you just start searching which company using Jenkins and what kind of use case they're solving, you can see a huge list, right? Okay, almost every different sectors of the companies they're using Jenkins like anything. So if you search very quickly, companies using come on, what I'm typing, using Jenkins, Jenkins, you will find tons of companies, right? They are using Jenkins like anything, Netflix and Udemy and LinkedIn, many more huge market. Again, the point is not only Jenkins, guys. What I'm talking about, okay, we need DevOps, we need CI/CD, we need automation. Okay, if they're not using Jenkins, they're using something else. Okay, but core concept will be same. But whichever industry you want to work on, whichever stream tool. Okay, that's what I'm trying to tell you here. Other can search one more thing, Jenkins alternatives to there will be a lot many tool as a Jenkins alternative would be. Okay, you can find the core concept is same. So your Team City, GitLab, and Bamboo Circles, and many more you will find. Okay, so let me start, guys. What is Jenkins? But before I start Jenkins as a because it's just a software, right? If you want to use a software, you should know the use case of this software. I need Jenkins as a software. Okay, to understand the use case, let me create one storyline here. And this storyline is very important. Okay, why? For example, if you see any website, for example, if I go to Netflix, it's one website, and it give you something to you. We can watch a movie and other things. So technically, so this web app has been developed by somebody. So be something like this. Somebody come with the idea that I want to create some streaming platform or the app, and for this idea, they hire some developer or this guy, maybe the developer, and they based on this idea or the requirement. Okay, they have some set of developer teams. Okay, and these developer teams start working on this idea, and what they do, obviously, to implement the idea, to provide the idea to everyone, so anyone can use in the world of computer technologies. They start writing a code, means they start creating a program, mostly known as a web app or website maybe. And for writing the code, okay, they have to pick some programming language. Okay, let's say they pick Node as a runtime or JavaScript or Python. Let's say they pick Python as a programming language to create this web app. I'm not saying this is created Python, but let's say Python is a programming language they pick. So they use Python. Obviously, they pick Python on some version. Let's say they might pick Python 3.11 as a version, and they start writing the code. But when they start writing the code, guys, they start writing the code. Uh, um, One more thing I want to add before I go ahead, right? For this training, there is no prerequisite. Okay, I'm going to start from very zero, right? So there is no prerequisite. It will be 100% practical training. Okay. So one more small thing I want to tell. So think and listen, guys, in this angle that by assuming you guys are very new in the world of DevOps and Jenkins, so there will be no prerequisite as such. Okay. So they start writing the code in a language, let's say Python. But obviously, if they're writing the code, and obviously whatever they're writing a code, creating a program or app, they also keep on running it, checking they keep on running the code and checking the code is working fine or not. Okay. And but obvious for this, I need some base physical hardware, RAM, CPU. On the top of this physical hardware, I need some operating system. So they are the one who decide and say this code can be run very, very great in, let's say, in Red Hat version 9.2, for example, or Ubuntu maybe, or Windows maybe. Okay. And to run the code, obviously on the top of this OS, they need a Python interpreter that is called runtime. They need runtime. Normally, guys, when we write the code, we normally use a lot of libraries of this programming languages, Python library, Java libraries. And because there's a website, okay, to run the web app, we need a web server, also known as app server. So they say we need some app server or the web server to host this website or to run this website. For example, Netflix has a code in PHP, for example, or JavaScript, for example. But this code they have host in some server. That's what reason we can see the website of the Netflix or can connect to the website of the Netflix. Okay, so they themselves decide because they are the programmer. They know whatever they're looking for. Okay, so this is the minimum requirement they had. That is sometimes also known as they say I need this environment. And based on this environment, or I can say in the reverse way, based upon their requirement, what they want to write, what they want to develop, they pick the environment, whatever suitable for them. Okay, and let's say finally the code has been developed, whatever we want to develop here by the developer. Okay, now here the role of developers almost complete. Almost complete. Now, what they do, now this code they will share to some other team. This is the developer team, dev team. And they share this code to other team. Okay. And this other team depend what they want to do. For example, depend what they want to do with this code. For example, one other team could be let's say the testing team. Okay. What they do, obviously, they will test your app. Okay, so they share this code, and now there's a multiple way medium to share the code, but due to a lot of reason we will discuss in the upcoming classes, mostly we share the code via some kind of code management tool or source code management tool. Okay, maybe GitHub can be one good example. So the developer team, after writing the code, if they feel thing is working fine, the way it should work, they upload the code to the GitHub. Upload, maybe I can use the word push. And after the push, they will tell the testing team, now my part is done. What you guys can do, you can go and download this code from this website, this code pull. And what this testing thing will do depend what they want to do. Technically, their role is to test. So the code what they download, this code web app, okay, they test this code. Test means because we have certain requirement. This requirement as your requirement, this can be your product like Netflix, or this requirement come from your customers. Okay, you are developing something for your customers. Okay, so based on the requirement, okay, a requirement can be, can in this website we assign a button or not? Does this button is working or not? Can I log in here? Can I after login can I ask for the amount to see the streaming? Okay, so based on the requirement, whatever the requirement you have or customer has, what you want to do, create and develop, okay, they will check everything. Okay, they have a checklist kind of thing, right? This is there, this is there, this is there, this is not working, for example, this might not be working, button is not working, not able to log in. They do this everything, whatever they want to check. They have a different cases. This could test cases, test case 1, test case 2, checklist 1, checklist 2, checklist 3. They check everything. Now how they check, it's all depend. Okay, either they manually go to the website and check color, button, all the things. After login, they will check many more things. So they can check. Maybe let me write here, manually. Okay, but in today's world, okay, in today's world, doing something manual does not make sense, right? Because manual means some human being will be there, okay, who keep on doing some checking one by one. Let's go testing. So there's a possibility we might miss something, and obviously if we human beings are there working, we can't work for 24 hours every second. So things will be very slow. But if you want things to be very faster, there will be no error prone. Everything will work perfectly, very quickly. So if you have a requirement, I want things to be very quickly. So instead of human being, we will replace the human being with the computers. Okay. So I say, computer, can you do this thing for me? Okay. The good thing about the computer is they're super fast. They work for every second, 24 hours, 7 days, and there will be no error. Whatever we ask to the computer, they will do for us. That is mostly known as automation. So computer can do the things automatically for you. So I can ask my testing team, hey, don't do manually. Do the test. This could test automation automatically. Okay. Otherwise, if you do, it may take 10 days. But if you are the program or computer to do the thing, they can do maybe within a second. Okay. Why I want thing to be done very fast? Because I want thing to be done very quickly. That's called rapid. And in today's world, one of the key factor behind the business, behind the if you want to be ahead of your competition, okay, is how rapid you are, how quick you are. Whatever idea you have, same idea can become in other company also. Whatever new feature you're coming up with, same features can become in other company also. Who comes first in the market? Okay, let's go time to market. Time to market. Okay, faster you have time to market, faster you uh, will touch the base of the customer, more business you will have. You will be the pioneer. Okay, in today's world of, especially in the world of competition, right? How rapid you are, that makes sense. It means if you do the things manually, that was the days that has been now gone. Okay, you will behind the competition, and some days and months you will see you will left out of the market. Your business will be completely shut down. That every company know. So what they trying to do, okay, they're trying to do wherever they're finding the something in the company, whatever they are doing, that is mostly known as processes or processes. For example, testing also one process, downloading also one process, uploading also one process, developing the code is also one process. Okay, can we automate our process? That's what they keep on doing. Okay, so that we can achieve rapid fast. Okay, and this is one of the kind of prerequisite, one of the kind of principle nowadays, and this principle come under the term called DevOps. So what is DevOps? We'll see in a minute. But one of the principle behind the DevOps is we want fast, rapid. And for rapid and fast, obviously you want automation. Without automation, it is not possible. If you don't do so, okay, you will be out of the market for sure. Okay, so point is, in this diagram, I'm just going to elaborate this diagram more in a minute. Okay, we will do one thing. Wherever we found there's a manual thing, we have to replace somehow with the automation. So I can say my testing team, hey, do one thing. um, don't do manual testing, do automation testing. Okay, anything whatever you want to automate, obviously you need a computer, and in the computer you need a program, and program means you need some tool. So do we have a tool to automate the testing? So you can find a lot of tool available in the market. And because here I want to test my code, and the testing itself a big world. This training is not at all about testing. Testing is still a different training altogether. I'm just giving this information for some reason, right? But but there's a lot of tool available in the market for testing tools. So again, if you search very quickly, testing automation tools. Okay, a lot of tool you can find the market for automation. Selenium is a one very famous name, other Cucumber and Appium and many more tools available in the market. They help you to test your code. And again, these tools also come with a programming language. Also for Python, we have a different testing tool. For JavaScript, we have different testing tool. For Android and Java, PHP, Python, we have a different testing tool. But my point is, we have a testing tool for the programming code to check. Okay. And why we need to check? Obviously, this is the business, right? For the company. Netflix is earning billions of dollars a year. They're doing the business from this website, right? And this website, before they uh, provide to the customer, right now, we are the customer, right? Where we are. Okay, we are here. We are the customer over the internet. So before Netflix or any company will provide this website to the market, this provide means call publish this website to the market. Okay, they have to check everything working fine or not. Otherwise, maybe Netflix start doing a marketing, maybe in YouTube or Instagram somewhere. I click on button and I try to sign up here. If button is not working, obviously I find this company is not so much reliable. Thing is not working. I won't come back. So before we will provide our application to the public, that is also sometimes known as expose or publish, or I can also use one more term here called release. So before we release our app to the customer or to the internet guys, also known as public guys, we all have to check obviously all the features, and there the testing automation come in play. Okay, and in testing that is very common because developer either code, they are the human being, and code is the one thing, guys, where we can't go for automation. This is always the manual process. Okay, till now there's no way to write the code automatically. Nowadays, we are trying to create a system that we can create a code automatically with the help of generative AI, if you know about this. So in generative AI, guys, they have a lot of models called LLM model, and one LLM model called code-based LLM model. If you know this, so this model will help you to create the code automatically. You just write what you want to do. For example, you can write, hey, can you please create a website for me so that I can have a chat to my Alex. Let's write this statement in a generative AI machine learning kind of model. Okay, that is called prompt, and they will create a code for you in your respective programming language, PHP, Python. You can just tell them, they will create the code for you. But then again, it is an example of automation. We have this system nowadays, from that after ChatGPT, a lot of companies come up in this world, but those are not actually foolproof till now. They can be possibility thing won't work the way it should work. So my point is, what I'm trying to tell you here is the till now the way we create a code is a kind of manual. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Okay, and if anything is manual, okay, then obviously there will be chances there could be bug, limitations, things not working. Okay, bug means they create the website. Okay, and I click on the button, thing is not working. Here they ask me email address, but they write a different name, phone address. It's also bug. Okay, so they hear the role of testing team come in play. They will check, do you have any bug? Something is not working. Okay, and what they found, they find, hey, there's some bug there. Okay, they found somebody can hack your account also. I can find some security issues also, or there were security vulnerabilities also. They check all the things. Okay, it means my app is not ready for the release to the public. So what they do, they will share this information to the developer team again. That is mostly known as feedback. Okay, how? The multiple way, maybe they can send by email or many other way also. The feedback. Okay, and say a lot of thing I tested is fine, but there's some challenges, bug I have found it not up to date. So tests are fail, some tests pass, let's go test pass, and some tests fail. So what we recommend you, just again rewrite the code, do change in the challenges, improve it, technical bug fixes, fix this bug, fix the security bugs, and if you think it's working fine, upload. Okay, after upload, I will again download this code, again check with my automation program. This called test cases. There's a possibility, mostly guys, next test also they not work the way it should work. They will find different bugs or maybe some more bugs. Again, they do the feedback. Again, they change the code. Again, they upload. Again, they test. Again, they find the bug or other challenges. Maybe again, they upload. This kind of keep on happening as a kind of loop. It's called continuous loop. Is keep on happening. But after having multiple loop, okay, maybe in first go also it will run successfully, but mostly it mostly never happen because there's some kind of manual thing there. So after multiple loop, okay, the bug has been removed. There would no error. Test passed successfully, almost 100%. Okay, then your testing team say, according to me, whatever the way I have to test the code, test the app, everything is working great. It means it's time to release this code to the public market. So here the role of different team come in play. Okay, now what happened? There's a different team. Okay, let me have one more team we have, for example. Okay, is IT team. IT team. Okay, what they do, the testing team somehow reach to this guy or whatever the case would be. Okay, and say we have a new app gonna come up, and I've tested everything working fine. Working fine. And guys, right now I'm just giving you again high level overview. There will be a lot many team in between. But today's the first day. I'm just giving you very, very minimum components here. Component means dev team is one component, testing team is one component, and some of the small working of these guys. Okay. But as we go in this training, I keep on adding new component. But right now I'm just giving a minimal so you can understand what we can do in the world of DevOps. Okay. So they contact to a different team, IT team or admin team, and say we have tested the app and it's working fine. Now this is your responsibility, okay, to get this code either from me or you can download the code directly from GitHub. Okay, because this is the code I tested already. Just pull the code from the GitHub, and now your responsibility, because this is a code or the website, so you have to run the code here. Run the code here. Running the code means running the web app, and running the web app technically known as deploy. You deploy the code here. Okay, and when the code run or deploy, then my customer can come and see the website. In the simple term, your duty is to release the code, publish the code. But for this, Okay, IT team say I can download the code, I can run the code, but the challenge is I don't know the minimum requirement, the prerequisite. Okay, to running the code, what should I do? Means what would be the environment? Okay, because I does not know this code is based on PHP or Python, which server should run. Okay, so here the developers are the one guys who create the code. They are the one who know which Python version they need, which interpreter they need, which OS they properly support. So whenever guys developer write a code, mostly, okay, what they do, they create a list. This called instruction manual or some kind of document. In this document, they mention this code is based on this environment. Anyone who want to run the code, they should have that environment. Otherwise, the code won't work the way it should work. Some of the feature might not work, or maybe neither the entire app might work. So this instruction manual they send to the IT team. Either they mail them or they put maybe somewhere in the GitHub, depend, or they sell in a different way. Okay, and based on the instruction manual, your IT team first prepare this environment. What they prepare? They have this physical hardware. Then on the top of they install the operating system. Which one? Let's say 9.2. And on the top of this, all the thing what I write here, they have a runtime, which Python interpreter. They install all the libraries. Then they put the web server. Then they copy the code and run the code over here. This entire environment. They first prepare. And this preparing is mostly known as provisioning. They provision this entire environment. Then they run the code, and after they run the code, your code has been released. Customer will come over internet by some kind of network connections. What that's also they have to do, and they can see the website. That's how we can see the website. Okay, but this point here is okay. Right now, your IT team, okay, has launched this app or deployed the app. It is not a one-time process. This also process. Something they're doing is called process. It's not one time. This is also cyclic, means continuous. Why continuous? Right now they hosted this website, working fine, but let's say Netflix come with a new feature. They say, hey, I want to start new feature, new shows, different kind of services. Okay, they come with a new idea. Okay, and based on the new idea or new marketing plan, new product plan, new feature plan, whatever the case would be, they ask the developer, okay, that you have to start preparing the code for this. So they will start preparing the code for this website, same web app. So in this current existing web app, they add more things that's called features. They write the code, again they upload the code, and obviously any new code gonna come up, even though there's maybe small word change also. We always do this practice that we will download the code and test again. Okay, we can't run the code directly in this computer, in this area. This area is mostly known as production systems. So any website, whatever you see, guys, they are running somewhere in the area on the computer. This called production servers. So we can't directly deploy our code in the production systems on servers by the team called production team or IT team or admin teams. Okay, so they do the test. Okay, and maybe it might not work. Again, they feedback, they do change. Again, they upload. Again, they download the test and say now it's working fine. Continuous. After they're working fine, okay, again they contact to IT team and say, now your duty is to download the code again because new feature gonna come up in this website, and you have to rerun this website called redeploy. Okay, so one practice for redeploy would be they will remove the code from here and copy the new code and run. This can be one practice. Okay, or one way that is also known as strategy of the deployment. But we don't follow this strategy due to a lot of reasons we might be discussing in the future. But This strategy we can't use. Why? Because whenever new code gonna come up, guys, or any new bug come up, any new security vulnerability come up, it is not only because of the code. It may be because of your app server, maybe of library, maybe of OS, maybe of your interpreter runtime. It could be any reason. So developers say, hey, I found the issues, I changed the code, I changed the version of Python, let's say 1.12, 3.12, I changed the Red version 9.3. Okay, so a lot of change in the base environment also. Okay, so finally, because they change in the base environment by changing the new code, they create new instruction manual, new document, and say now this code, new version of the code or new copy of the code, that's called version of the code. If you would like to run, okay, then whatever the existing the setup that is also known as infrastructure does not help. You have to reprovisioning your infrastructure. So technically, okay, they have to destroy this environment, reprovisioning the new environment. Okay, like this new OS they launch, new setup they launch, and on the top of this they put the new code copy, and everything will be same. They again reconnect or do the same network connection to the customer. So my point here, what I'm trying to tell you, okay, this is not happening the way I'm explaining to you here. Actually, they remove and do the things. There will be a lot of things they taken care, but again, I'm just giving you high level overview here. But in this entire process, if you notice here, IT team is not one time they have to do. Okay, as code is keep on changing, they have also to do same thing again and again and again. Again and again, they're re-provisioning the environment, copying the code, again and the code, again deploy the code, again establish the network connections to the customer. Okay, so again they will do this process continuously. Okay, continuously. Okay, and what they're doing continuously, they continuously deploy the code. When I say deploy, a lot of things is happening. First, they have to create the entire system, OS, hardware arrangement, new OS, new library, then copy the code, run the code, create the network connections. A lot of things is happening when I say what the deploy. But they have to do again and again. For example, in a day, Netflix is changing 10 times the new feature, or maybe they find bugs also. 10 times a day, almost 10 times they have to redeploy. It's continuous. And this continuous process is called continuous deployment. This is called continuous deployment known as CD. CD. Okay. So this is what they have to do. And if you see this part, what I was talking about initially, developer has to write a code, they upload, some team download it, they do test, do feedback. So again, this is also one process keep on happening. Okay, where multiple teams, multiple tools work together. And if somebody will multiple independent team work together to create a final copy of the code so we can release, then it's called continuous integration. This is called CI. And right now I'm just only talking about developer team or the testing team, but it could be many more things happening with these guys. As I go ahead, I'll tell you, like build process and many other things also. Okay, so technically, as soon as the idea come up, okay, idea come up, from here the things start, and it end when you release in the production system. This is called end to end. So in this end to end, guys, a lot of continuous thing is happening again and again and again and again, every day, every week, every year, hundreds and thousands of times. So continuous integration is happening again and again, continuous deployment is happening again and again, and this process is very, very common everywhere happening. Wherever you see the product app softwares, this is what you always see. And this is known as CI/CD. CI, continuous integration and continuous deployment. There's one more word of CDs called delivery. What is delivery? I'll tell you in some time. But right now, the right vocabulary would be continuous integration and continuous delivery is a kind of process. Process means something happening. A continuous means is keep on happening in the loop. That is the meaning of CI/CD. Okay, it's happening. Now, again, you might see something or a lot of things here manual, and the way I explained to you already. Okay, wherever you see manual thing, I want thing to be automated. Otherwise, thing will slow down and you'll be out of the business. That is a core principle you have to follow. And whenever you want things to be faster, rapid, without automation, it won't work. Okay. So CI/CD is a process, it will always happen. But can we make this process automated? So it could be very fast and very rapid. So we have fast time to market, and faster we can release our new code, new bug, new feature. That is also a new version of the app. Okay, that would we want. Right now, here, what you see as CI/CD is a kind of manual. Not everywhere manual, but it's most of the place you can see manual. For example, my IT team or the production team have to download the code manually, create this environment manually, copy the code manually, establish network connection manually. Okay, here my testing team send the feedback to the developer team manually. Okay, so a lot of places you can see manual thing is happening here. That's what I don't want. So right now, the way I show this diagram, uh, we have a lot of manual, and the manual will slow down the thing. Okay, so what we want to do here, I want my CI/CD, this entire process that will help me to do end-to-end things from development to finally release the product. Let's go end-to-end. I want this process to be automated. I want CI/CD to be automated. And for automation, there will be a lot of different approach used by different company, by different team. I'm just trying to give you some of the basic approach here. Okay, but as we go ahead, I will give you a lot of different way, strategies, scenario, use cases. Depend whichever fit in your company, in your environment, whichever you guys are working or you will work, you can use those scenario and those strategy. Okay, but right now, one of the way we can make this CI/CD automate in this way. For example, let me write here. Okay, so let me create the same diagram again, a little bit more simple and clear. So right now, if you notice here, I'm just only writing down some of the key team name or the component name. We have a dev team who will develop the code. How? Continuous. They keep on changing again and again. This is called continuous development. So continuous development is happening. Okay, and as soon as development happening, new they're uploading or sharing in some centralized tool, maybe GitHub, Bitbucket, or many more tools available for the SCM. Okay, so very quickly, if you search about SCM tool, a lot of tool you have: Bitbucket, TFS, Subversion, Mercurial, GitHub, and many more. Okay, so whatever they use, that will be their choice for a lot of regions. Okay, so they upload the code. So they keep on doing uploading the code or pushing the code. Whenever the new change happens, this called new version of the code come up, the upload. So here we are doing continuous management of the code. There's a continuous code management. So what we're doing, we are doing continuous code because this tool is helping to manage the code. And managing the code does not mean we only copying the code. There will be a lot of things happening in the world of HCM. So this training, guys, is not about HCM. It's Jenkins training, but you guys might know Git and GitHub. There we learn about SCM. Okay. So if you want to learn SCM, I suggest you guys can go to our GitHub training. So maybe I think this can be part of your program. So I will update you guys. So if the part of your program, or we are giving extra free, my Git and GitHub training is a big training altogether, where advanced training, where I'm covering everything about Git and GitHub, every features. Okay, there are a lot of things happening in the world of Git and GitHub. So if it's there part of a program, we will share my recorded video of the entire training. It's a complete training actually. So I highly suggest to go and complete this training, because in the world of the CI/CD, if you have a good understanding of Git and GitHub or any SM tool, it gives you a lot of benefit. Okay. So right now it is not a prerequisite, but in some of the future classes we might need some advanced features. So before some of the next classes, I suggest go and complete this training, and my team will provide you the entire training course to you. Okay. So GitHub is a tool that will manage your code continuously. Okay. Then what we will do, we will download the code here by some of the team. Okay, there will be many more team, but let's say to make this diagram simple, so we have a testing team. Okay, and what they're doing, they keep on again and again. This is continuous. The continuous testing is going on. Okay, and there's a conditions here. If test fail, if fail, we do a feedback. Means we tell to these guys, developers, that's called notify also, and say, hey, the code is not working, and in this code there are a lot of features you have, a lot of buttons you have, but out of this there's a two places where code is failed. So this process, what you see here, is called continuous integration, CI. That explained to you. I just create this diagram again one more time to click a new create a new clean look, and I also want to give some more vocabulary. But if test pass, everything work the way it should work. Okay, then we have to deliver our code. Which code? This code by somehow to my other team, that is called production team. Mostly they are the IT guys. Okay, also known as the operations team. What they do, I explain to you. There will be many more things they do, but let's say something I explain to you here. So we have to deliver. If pass, we have to deliver the code. Which code? The latest updated code, latest updated version. Okay, the code here. And for delivery, there will be a lot of method we can use to deliver the code here. Okay, but it is not the small game, guys. We are asking our new code to be released, right? We want our code to be released. Release means you have to provide to the public world. And the entire business depends on in this, right? $1 billion business, right? We can't take any risk. So mostly we have one more team in between, mostly known as QAT team, quality assurance team. They can do many things before we release. One of the things they do is approval. So so for example, this is a product we have. This product is managed by some director or team or the owner. Okay, they are the one who approve, and there's a tick. When they tick, then only a code will be released here. That's called deployed here. And when the code deployed, then only your final customer can see the new website and new copy. Okay, over the internet. Somehow, the way you establish network. Okay, so in this case, and because the code is keep on changing, new code is keep on coming, new test time. Every time you do a test, every time the test pass, we deliver. And this delivery is known as, because it's happening again and again, every time new version gonna come up, it's for continuous delivery. And this is a continuous deployment. So in the CI/CD world, this side is called CD. The CD technically means deployment. Sometimes also we use the word delivery. There's some difference that you can see from this diagram also, but there's a small difference between delivery and the deployment. Okay, as I go in this training, I will explain to you. Okay, but this is again some kind of process happening here. Okay, but if you notice again, if you notice here, this again CI/CD. Okay, here, but again, a lot of thing is manual. Okay, what is manual? Mm, Again, this part is manual. Every time the code come up for the deployment, they have to recreate the entire setup. This is called re-provisioning. Okay, they have to download the code again from some here or maybe from GitHub. That's also kind of manual. Okay, and if you notice here in the testing world also, maybe we're doing testing automatically. I told you already we can use automation testing tool, but some part is also manual here. How downloading the code is manual. Okay. Plus, after download, to run this program tool, obviously we have to run the program, right? So somebody should be sitting on the system, they run the command to do the testing. And after test done, they have to send the mail. That is also manual. So a lot of things is manual here. But if you want this entire process, what I show to you is a small diagram. There will be a lot of pieces can be in between. Okay, this component. To make this entire process automate, what I can do, I can do CI/CD automate. And if you want to do anything automate, you need a software, you need a program, you need a tool. And here, the concept name called automation tool come in play. So we have a lot of automation tools who help me to do this entire processes automate. And this entire process we normally divide in two parts, CI and CD. So with this automation tool, we can make this CI/CD completely automated. And there are a lot of automation tool. One of the famous name is called Jenkins. Here the role of Jenkins come in play. What Jenkins can do, they can do your CI/CD part automated. How? Again, is a very quick example. Now onward, okay, we'll ask my Jenkins to run somewhere in some computer or some server. Okay, now we'll give some responsibility to Jenkins. Okay, the responsibility would be, and say, Jenkins, I know one part is always manual, it's called continuous development. You can't do much there. Developer has to write the code manually. Till the time your generative AI won't be so much mature. If the generative AI will mature, then there will be no need of developers also. But let's say this part is manual, but okay, after developer write the code and they upload the code, now from here your duty start. So first duty is keep on watching to the GitHub. Keep on checking. Now onward, nobody will go and download the code. Your duty to keep on watch, and as soon as you found new code gonna come up, new version gonna come up, you have to download this code. How? Automatically. No human being would be there. Download means push the code automatically. And I tell you the requirement. After code download, we want our code to be test always. Not always we want to test, but if you want, I'll tell you. So I'll tell you the code have to test, and these are the machines. So you take this code and send here. Contact to these machines, not the team, real computers, automatically. Okay, so let me write the numbers also here. So this is number 1, number 2, number 3. Send the code to the testing machine. And After send, ask this tool to run the test. How? Without any human being, automatic. It means continuous testing. Okay, was the manual initially. Testing would be automatically, but we need someone to run the tool, right? Run the machine. But now this machine could be run automatically by the help of Jenkins. And here I will give you test, give you the conditions here. If the test fail, you are the one who send the notification to the developer automatically. If the test pass, you are the one who will deliver, okay, the message to my quality assurance team or the director of, or the owner of this project or the manager of this project for the approval. Okay, as soon as approve, then approval guys again look like manual. Okay, and it's up to you. You want approval to manual or automate. That can also be done. We can automate also. Mostly we want approval to manual because it's very risky thing because we are releasing to the production environment. So team can check, your manager can check, everything is in place the way we want. Then they release because a game of business, entire business, right? So here it could be manual, manual part, but sending this information to the team for the approval automated. But as they click on the button, yes, or approve, then this is your duty to release this product. They could continue deployment. Sixth. And this is not the small step, guys. Okay. It means initially, okay, this entire setup has done manually, right? Now this is your duty to reprovisioning, means create the entire OS, do all the environment settings, all the configuration, put the copy of the code, run the code, establish the network. Entire process you will do for me. This called reprovisioning of the system by some kind of better strategical way that I'll be talking in upcoming classes. Okay, this again you will do, and how they do I'll discuss in some time. We'll do this setup, guys, in upcoming as a project. Okay, technically, if you notice, guys, here, okay, as soon as the developer push the code is the start point. Okay, and till here is called end point where customer can see the new copy, new website. That means your entire end-to-end process, what is happening behind the scene, whatever you want, how many components you want, and those components mostly known as stages. How many stages you want? This called stage test, stage QAT, stage deployment. Okay, this is most known as stages. So in this process, how many stages you want? 1, 2, 3, 4, so on. You can decide in the Jenkins. Okay, in the Jenkins. But the end-to-end process, if you notice here, is completely automated. There will be no human being. This entire CI/CD is completely automated. Only the approval part is manual. That's because we want it to be manual. Otherwise, there's also a way we can also skip this part, or we can make it somehow in different way. We can automate by writing some scripts or running some script. It's again up to you. But technically, if you notice, it's completely end-to-end automated. Okay, that's what is happening here. And now, because Jenkins is software, okay, only thing what you have to do, you have to only manage Jenkins. Tell the Jenkins that in this particular software and the project, I have to do this process. I have stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, more or less, 100 stage, 2 stage maybe. Depend upon whatever your requirement would be. You want to test or you don't want to test. You want to build, you want to publish, you want to store the code somewhere, you do code quality checking. You want to do, you don't want to do, it will be up to you. It's a completely tunable, changeable, configurable. Okay, so it's up to you. Or you want to launch this, your production system, in your on premises, in your data center, in the AWS cloud, in the OpenStack cloud, in the Azure cloud, in the Kubernetes, in the OpenShift, in the Docker, wherever you want to connect, you want to automate, Jenkins can do the things for you. Means Jenkins can connect to any tool, any platform in this world, all the technological platform in the world. Okay, so vast facility they have, you can connect any tool. But Jenkins here is helping you to automate. If you ask Jenkins, you know how to test? They say, no, I don't know how to test. But I can contact to testing tool and help you and ask them to test for you. Jenkins, can you please launch the OS for me? Can you launch the website for me? No. I mean, I don't know how to launch the. I don't have my website where you can put the app, but I can go and launch the website for you. I can go and click contact to AWS cloud. I launch the VM in the AWS cloud and launch the website there. So Jenkins is an automation tool. They they don't do, but they make it happen for you. Okay, somewhere. Okay, that's what we want, right? Because we already have a cloud, right? AWS very mature. Why I don't want to change the cloud. I don't want Jenkins to be cloud for me. I don't want Jenkins to be a Selenium kind of tool for me for whatever I just say I show to you for testing purpose. They're great in their way. But I want Jenkins will contact to Selenium. I want Jenkins will contact to Kubernetes. I want Jenkins will contact to GitHub, for example, and ask them that now nobody will come manually as a human being. I am coming on their behalf. Okay, and I will asking you, giving the instruction and do the thing for me. That's what the automation is. Okay, so now that you know, understand what is CI/CD, why I want CI to be automated. Okay, plus plus you know now what is use of Jenkins, and it is not only the Jenkins, any other competitor of Jenkins, maybe Bamboo, maybe Circle CI, they are also doing the same thing. The look and feel can be different, okay, but they are doing almost the same thing. Okay, but what is DevOps then? So DevOps has got nothing, guys. DevOps is not a tool. It is not a software. It is not like an exe file, double click and things will happen. It is not a tool. It is not a platform. It is just a mindset. Just a mindset. It is a culture. Okay, and in this culture, okay, we have to follow some better practices. Okay, one practice we're following here is I don't want thing to be slow down. I want thing to be faster. So one practice we adapt here is called automation. Rapid. How? By CI/CD automation, by using some tool. Okay. So core principle is DevOps principle, DevOps culture says, okay, if you want to survive in today's world, okay, what methodology you will adapt in your company, in the corporate world. And this methodology is not only for IT guys, it is also for business guys also, non-technical guys also, management team also. How everybody work together. Okay, so overall development or delivery to be faster. Yeah, for the IT perspective, because we are into the IT team or the technological team, so our perspective, DevOps culture or methodology means what culture we adopt, what tool set we adopt. Okay, so things should be go very, very faster. One example is if you want to relaunch the environment, okay, one practice could be I will go take the entire Windows Linux operating system, install it directly in your hardware or in the virtual machine. It takes a lot of time to installing the new OS. Okay, instead you will launch the OS directly in your hardware or in your server or maybe in the virtual machines like VMware, something like this. Okay, why don't we? You can use container technology because they're super fast. One click, they will start the system. Okay. So as a DevOps approach, say you have to pick your tool set. Okay. You should know what your requirement is. Our requirement is rapid. That's a core requirement. And for rapid, you need automation. But not only the automation, you have to pick a right technology also. So if you want to launch OS, it's called OS provisioning, rather than you use virtualization technology or the system that we can directly store in the hardware is called bare metal, go for container technology. Okay, because everything will be, because core thing is rapid, faster, quickly. So DevOps is a culture, is a methodology, nothing called technology. It's not at all the technology. And the DevOps mindset, we pick the technologies to achieve our goal. So we search here, guys, DevOps methodology. That's what we see. Okay, so DevOps methodology or the okay, or maybe is approach, right? A lot of teams work together. I'll give you many more example. Many more principle I can say about the levels. But it is, if you see, it is all about picking the right tool set. It's a culture. How we can rapidly deploy with a lot of innovative ideas and many more things. Instead of doing the thing manual, we can automate it. Okay, so that's the point about that DevOps. Okay, but for this, you should understand. Okay, because right now we're talking about the software product app, and in app, there's two teams that has a major role. Okay, so if you see this diagram, and if you just kind of make this diagram half in between, this half, this side is more related to code and development, and this side is more related to operations, IT team. They download the code, they launch the OS, they go to AWS cloud, they set up the networking, they set up the security. Many more things is happening. As I go ahead again, I'll give you more component name. Okay, but here this side, the primary thing is happening related to development. New bugs we are finding, we improving, writing code. This time more about operation work, security, monitoring, many more things. So if you see here overall, this entire process divided in two parts: dev part, development team, operations team. But with these two teams work together, okay, we'll make this entire end to end. But how can we make these two independent teams work together? Okay, because developer is a different team, person team is different team, they're sitting different office, different area, they have no connection as such. So we can also establish some way, some communication, either manually they sit together, work together somehow. Or we can use some tool like Jenkins. So without they know each other, but they whatever the developer team is doing, what operation team is doing, can be completely connect together. Okay, this is again one of the small diagram. There will be many more things we have to add in between. Okay, then this become the DevOps. How these two teams work together. Okay, when I say work together, I literally means work together. Physically, we have 10 developers or 10 IT operation team. They collaborate together. They work together by somehow. What I'll talk a little bit more about how somehow it's more related to management perspective or business perspective. A different point. Other way is whatever they're doing, whatever the operation doing. But here I'll just connect all the pieces together with a tool called Jenkins. That's also like then now whatever they're doing, it become one. Okay, and then also become a DevOps. Okay. Otherwise, again, the first day as I go ahead, I will talk more about, okay, more about this uh, term means, because company requirement to requirement, the meaning of this topic is keep on, every company is giving a different meaning, but we'll discuss as you go ahead. Okay, so if you even though if you see this diagram from AWS, Amazon Cloud also, your company customer, you build a software, build has again a lot of meaning. Let's say code, then you test the code, then release the code, customer is using it, you're monitoring, you gain the feedback. Art again is a kind of loop case, keep on happening again and again. Okay, so somehow if we can make this everything automated, so that thing will faster, then again it's come into the DevOps. So one of the benefits of DevOps is speed, right? And rapid delivery. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, here's a lot of continuous integration and delivery come up. CI/CD. I'll talk more about as a feature, but for the first day perspective, this information is enough. But as I go ahead, okay, and after some days, you will be very much comfortable with the term and all the principle of the DevOps. Okay, but I think the main thing for this training is Jenkins. I think you got the idea of the Jenkins. So let me start from here. And what I'm doing, guys, right now, I'm just going to show the demo here in a minute. And after the today's class, I think I just need half more hour. Then after half an hour, I will open the Q&A chat message. And if you think any query left, depend upon my explanation, you guys can ask me the query. So I will open the Q&A in some minute. But right now, what I'm going to do, I'm going for the demo. The first demo is, obviously, if you want to use Jenkins, you have to set up the Jenkins, install the Jenkins. And Jenkins is a software. And for installing the software, you need the operating system. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to install one operating system. Okay. One more thing, guys, Jenkins is software. This software is developed on the top of Java language. It means you can install Jenkins in any operating system wherever you have the Java. And good thing about the Java is Java support in almost every operating system in the world. So you can install Jenkins on Mac, Windows, Unix, Red Hat, Ubuntu, whichever OS you want to launch, you can launch. But in my case, I am going to install Jenkins on the top of Linux. Again, for this, you have to install the Linux operating system. At your choice, you can install the Linux in your local laptop directly, or maybe in VirtualBox. But in my case, I am going to launch the Linux on the top of AWS cloud. Okay, but does not matter wherever you want to install, that will be your choice. So on the top of AWS, I am going to install Linux, and on the top of Linux, I am going to install a software called Jenkins. Okay, but one more thing, Jenkins, because they create on the top of Java. So if you don't have a Java here, it won't work. So you need to install Java software, or also on a Java runtime. Then only Jenkins will run. So whichever OS you want to run Jenkins, you need a Java there. Okay, so let me install, guys, this part. So I already have an AWS account with me. If you don't have, you can create if you want to install it in AWS, but it's not compulsory. You can go for Google Cloud also, or you can use your own laptop also. So I'm using AWS Cloud, and there is one service, if you search, called EC2. By this, I can launch a server or the OS in the cloud. And here, what I'm going to do, okay, I'm going to install one operating system. Those who does not know how to use AWS Cloud, or how to launch the OS in the cloud, how to create the account here. So I asked my team, they will give you extra videos to you of my AWS classes, where you can learn how to create the account, how to launch the OS here. Okay, but right now, let me launch very quickly. And here I'm going to give a name called Jenkins. It's just a name, OS. And here you can use any operating system. I'm using Amazon Linux. You can go for Red Hat or Ubuntu also, but I'm using Amazon Linux. It's one of the Linux flavor from the company called Amazon. Okay. Second thing, you have to pick the hardware. So here they have free tier. So it's free. You don't have to pay the amount, 1 GB RAM. Again, that is enough. Okay, but we are going to do some advanced practice also in the future. Right now, for initial basic practice, you can go for 1 GB RAM, one CPU. But for some advanced practical, you need some extra RAM, at least 2 GB RAM or 4 GB RAM. So in my case, what I am doing is not you have to do right now. But in my case, I am launching this OS on the top of 2 CPU and 4 GB RAM. It's not free in AWS. They will charge you per hour basis. So if you want to use, run it for some time and shut down. Okay, or you can do the practical with T2 micro, means 1 GB RAM, that is free for some time. Okay, key pair, I'm just going for without key pair because Amazon give me a way to log in directly with other way without any password. Okay, that's all. And anything else what I want to do here, I believe no. Let me launch. So this OS has been launched. Now the prerequisite for the Jenkins is two. One, you need the OS that I launched. Second is you need a Java. Okay, so this OS has been launching. After it launch, I will install the Java here. Now with Java, so there's a lot of company guys who create the Java. Okay, one company called Oracle has their own Java, IBM has their own Java, open source has their own Java, there's open JDK. Okay, Amazon company also have their own Java. So almost every that also known Java runtime or Java JVM, you can use almost Jenkins support in all the Javas. Okay, so what I'm going to do here in this OS, let me log in. Okay, to log into this OS, there's a direct way. You can click here, connect, and they can log in directly in the browser. So I am going to install the Java. That Java is called Amazon Java. Okay, also known as Coreto Java. Okay, so pretty simple. How to install? So right now, if you see here, I don't have a Java pre-installed. It's a new OS. So to install the Java, I can use yum install is one command in Linux to install the software, and I'm going to install a Java as a software. And the Java, what they're going to install here is it does not matter, but Java 21 from Amazon Coreto. Okay, so it will install the Java for me, or if you want to install in Jenkins on the top of Windows, you can download Java from Oracle website or other website, install in the Windows, and you can run the Jenkins directly on the top of your Windows also. Now, if you see, I have the Java running. Okay, so it is a kind of minimum requirement. Now, how to install Jenkins? For this, what you can do, you can search Jenkins. Okay, download or installation, something like this. But you will get a Jenkins website. This is official website, guys, for the Jenkins. First of all, Jenkins is an open source tool, freeware also. Okay, open source and used for automation. What is automation? I explained to you. Okay, and this is official website of the Jenkins. Plus, they give you the things what they do. One thing that I explained to you is CI/CD. Many more things they will do. I will explain as I go ahead. Okay, and some more information you can find about the Jenkins over here. Okay, so that is one thing. Second thing, if you go to this link, okay, where they tell you how to download the Jenkins, and there's a multiple way to download and install the Jenkins. But before this, I will tell you one more thing. This software is keep on coming with the new features. So if you want to work on the latest new features, you can go for a regular release. Every week they release a new feature in the Jenkins, or they remove the bug, whatever they have. Okay. But if you want to work for a stable version, that mostly we want to work in the corporate world, okay, then you can go for LTS, long term support. That means this Jenkins software, they won't launch weekly, almost in a month or 12 week. They keep on launching the stable version. Okay. So in the corporate world, if you want to use any software, we mostly try to use a software that has a stable, that's called long term support versions. That's what they're talking about here. But right now, if you want to download the Jenkins, there's a lot of way you can download, depend where you want to install. Okay, regular version or the LTS. I would like to download LTS. Interesting thing is Jenkins support everywhere. You can install on the Red Hat, Windows, OpenSUSE, FreeBSD, Mac, Windows. You can anywhere. Only thing you need is Java. Even though those who know Docker, Kubernetes, also OpenShift, you can install there also. They give you images. You can run there also. Okay. How to run there? I will show you in the upcoming classes. Right now, I suggest don't do there because I want to show you some internal that can understand very easily if you run on the top of Linux. Okay. So to install the Jenkins, either I can download the software and copy and run it, or we can do in this way also. There's one link they might give you. One minute. Installing Jenkins, I think. So there's a link. If you click on this link, there's a better document for installing Jenkins. Here they tell you if you want to install Jenkins, where you want to install, they give you all the commands. In my case, I want to install in Linux. And in Linux, I want to install in Red Hat because Amazon Linux is almost like Red Hat Linux. I click here, and here they give you a way how to install. And what the way they give you, they say if you want to install the Jenkins in the Amazon Linux or in the Red Hat Linux, mostly you use the yum command. And right now, if you use the yum command to install the Jenkins, you don't have the Jenkins software. The yum will download the software from somewhere. From where they download, for this you have to configure the yum. And for configure the yum, they give you this command and say copy this command, run this command. This command will automatically configure the yum for you. Okay, a yum will help you to tell where the Jenkins software located. And where they download the software from, they also need a key. Key is not like a password. Key is just for checking the software signature. Okay, that's called digital signature you have. Okay, plus you can upgrade the system because whenever you add a new yum, it's good practice to upgrade. It's not compulsory. Upgrade means any new software version gonna come up. If they want to upgrade, there's no upgrade here. Okay, that's all. Okay, and now finally you have to install Jenkins. I need Java that I already have. You don't need to run this command. You have to just run the command called Jenkins. So now I'm going to run the command called Jenkins. Sudo is not important to write here. Okay. And it will install Jenkins for me. And this will download the Jenkins from the yum what I configured. And after Jenkins download, I will start the Jenkins services. So Jenkins downloaded, and finally I'm going to start because Jenkins is a tool, and mostly tool have a program or service, also known as daemon. So Jenkins will start. It is taking some time because Jenkins is based on Java, and Java programming is a little heavy mostly. Let's say some second to start this service. So point is very, very simple, guys. Let me share this link to you also. Okay, there's 1, 2 or 3 commands, and you are up with the Jenkins, and now we can use the Jenkins the way we would like to use. So Jenkins start is good practice to check the service status command. So we notice here, okay, the service is running. But there's one more thing, guys, here. Even 2 more things. This program is running on the top of Java. That was I told you. And I have the Java that is a region it is running. Okay. And second thing is here they also give you this number. Okay, so what is this number? This number has some use in a minute, I'll tell you, but it's running right now. And if you want to make this service permanent, you can make it enable command. So after reboot, at the boot time next time, your service will automatically start. Okay. So Jenkins is working fantastically fine. So Jenkins is a tool, it's a program. Now, if you want to work in the Jenkins, okay, so wherever you run the Jenkins, they launch a web app. This is called Jenkins web app, like a website that work on a port number 8080. So if you want to use a Jenkins like a client or user of the Jenkins, you have to go to the website to this port number. So you can see the Jenkins website that's called Jenkins dashboard. From there, you can manage the entire Jenkins the way you would like to manage. Okay, it works via HTTP because it's a website or web app. So for this, you should know the IP of this machine. And because this machine running in the cloud give you the public IP, so I can connect from here. The IP of this machine, the public IP is this one. So I'll type this public IP and the port number is 8080. So I can connect to the Jenkins. It is not working because you might know in AWS cloud, we mostly have a firewall. So this machine has a firewall that is known as security group that does not allow to connect. So I click on security by selecting this OS. And the security group here that is known as firewall. And here in inbound, when anybody come in, I want to edit the rule. And rule is, let me add that anyone come from anywhere in the world for any port number, I'm allowing everyone actually, they can connect. So I do some change in this OS in the firewall, that's called security group. Now, if you see here, if you refresh, you will see Jenkins gonna come up. And Jenkins say, if you want to use me, you have to first give me the admin password. Okay. And where you get the password? This password guys you can get from here. When I run the status command, this is the password. Okay. So let me copy this password and paste the password here. Or there's one more way. In the same system when Jenkins is running, they also create one file where also you can get the password, the initial password. Okay. So you can also get the password from this file. So we see the same, right? So wherever you want to take, you can take. And you can continue. Okay, that's all. And now guys, Jenkins is ready to use, but only one thing we have to do in the Jenkins is to install the plugins. What is plugin? That is an interesting concept. So right now what I'm doing here, there's two ways. You can install the plugin of your choice, or you can go for suggested plugin that is very commonly used mostly. So I click on this button, click, and they start installing the plugin. Now what is plugin? Okay, plugin is a core powered behind the Jenkins. The way I explained to you here, what I told you guys, Jenkins is an automation tool, and Jenkins know how to connect to any other tools in the world. Jenkins can go to GitHub, Jenkins can go to AWS Cloud, Jenkins can go to OpenShift, Kubernetes, Ansible, testing tool. Almost everyone, Jenkins can go and connect. Okay, so this power of Jenkins comes from the plugin. For every tool and technology, Jenkins has their respective plugin. That means if you want, okay, the Jenkins can go to GitHub, where we manage the code, contact to GitHub, talk to the language what GitHub understand, and ask them to download the code. So if you ask Jenkins, do you know this? They say, no, I don't know the language of GitHub. I don't know how to connect, I don't know how to download. So if you want, Jenkins can understand the language of GitHub, their options, their support, or their feature. We have to install the plugin. for the GitHub, that's called Git plugin. And if you notice here, that's what they're doing here. See here, they're downloading, installing the Git plugin. Okay, if you ask Jenkins to do some mailing, they have mailer plugin. So some of the very commonly used plugin they are installing here, like email plugin, extension plugin, SSS plugin, GitHub branch plugin. Okay, every plugin will help Jenkins to do something. If you ask uh, Jenkins, can you go to Kubernetes, if you know the Kubernetes by chance, and do something there automatically? Do you know how to contact to Kubernetes? They say, no, I don't know. To make the Jenkins smart so that they can contact to Kubernetes in the language of the Kubernetes, then we have to install plugins in the Jenkins for the Kubernetes thing. So Jenkins, guys, the one of the key feature of the Jenkins, they are rich plugins. Rich means they have almost every plugins for almost all the main use cases in this technological world. That is a reason, if you see the Jenkins website, okay, what they write here, I am an automation tool and I have hundreds of plugins for your automation purpose. So main part is the plugin here. So right now they're installing some of the main plugin, but in the future, you want to install, upgrade, or add a new plugin. We can also add afterwards also. So Jenkins installed successfully. Here they are asking to create a first account. It's called admin account that have all the power. So I'm going to create an account with the name of my Vimal, or you can give the name admin also, whatever you feel like. Let me give Vimal. Give some password. So I'm giving some password here. Okay. And I'll save and continue. Sorry, we're asking the email address also here. Let me give full name here and email. And that they're saying here, if you want to use Jenkins, this is the URL. I'm the same URL by chance. So I say, yes, I want to use this URL, and that's all. Now Jenkins is ready. Click on start. Now what you are going to see is the running Jenkins tool or Jenkins platform, Jenkins dashboard, whatever you say here is running over here. Okay, means we are good to go with the Jenkins. Okay, and this is the platform. Okay, right now I'm using the Jenkins from the graphical, but we can use a command line also that I will show in upcoming classes. But main power of the Jenkins, that is what we use in advanced level of Jenkins knowledge called pipeline as a code. So mostly in the real world, we use Jenkins pipeline as a code. So what is this topic? It's very interesting, very advanced topic. In this training, I'm going to show you a lot of things we are going to do with pipeline as a code in upcoming days. Okay, but right now I will start with this graphical, how to use Jenkins, slowly move to some advanced part to make you first comfortable in this tool. So today's first day, guys, lot of information I given to you in a way that you guys are very new in the world of this technology. So I explain the concept, plus I also show you how to install the Jenkins. Now from next class onward, okay, it will be complete practical. We'll pick one use case. I will explain the Jenkins, how they can solve that challenges. Okay, and by this process, from the next class, I also start giving you all the vocabulary and knowledge about the Jenkins. Okay, for the next class, there's only one small prerequisite. You should know very basic commands of Linux, very basics, nothing very special. If you know, that's okay. If you don't know, my team will give you some basic video of mine of the basic Linux classes. Second thing, for the next class, as a prerequisite, okay, you should know, okay, what is SSS? That's called remote login. Again, you guys know maybe, but in SSS, at least you should know. And there's a concept called public key, private key. Public key and private key that we normally use in SSS for doing passwordless authentication. If you know this, that's okay. If you don't know, again, we will share one video of SSH that normally we cover in basic Linux level of training, where I cover what is passwordless authentication, how it works, how can we use SS to do remote login, okay, without password using key. It's very important concept. Why? In a lot of area we need this. Because Jenkins next class, I will start from very zero, but I will also set up the master slave setup. In master slave setup, we need this concept. Okay. So before the next class, that most probably tomorrow, if you don't know this concept, my team will share the video. You guys can go through video and please get this concept. Okay. So that's still guide for that. That's it from my side. Now, any query if you have, you guys can ask me. One small task from my side, if you want to take, the task is go to Jenkins website, okay, and try to see how they are giving a benefit to the corporate world. Okay, or you can go and search in Google also. Okay, whoever using the Jenkins, they will search for you why they're using Jenkins, what kind of benefit they're getting it. So read that the kind of blog, case study, write a blog, post in some social media, or we will share our some community group in the LinkedIn post there, share to everyone. You also learn and other guys also learn from you guys. So take the one task from my side. Okay, that's it. Any queries if you have, you guys can ask me. So if you want to run Jenkins for IP port, yes, we can change, Mahendra. There's a way I show you. Graphical also we can change. And from the internal file also we can go and change. I'll show you in upcoming classes how to change the port number. Okay, right now, just for some time, let me keep it running for port number 8080 only. So how data science use DevOps? It is right now a little bit harder for me, his case, to tell you. But if you heard about the term called ML ops or AI ops, that's what we use a lot, right? So purely based on DevOps only. Okay. And we are the first one, if you know, in the market who launched this level of training of ML ops long back. Okay, but I will definitely try to give you in my upcoming classes if you want to know what kind of use case in the machine learning or data science of the DevOps. But it is there. We need this heavily. So what can we use? Can we use? Yes, 100%. Abhijit is heavily used, right? The diagram that I show you, okay, same setup we are going to do, and more advanced than this we are going to do in this training, right, where you can see all the cd part will be completely automated with the Jenkins. Okay, that's what you can see there. Yes, you can run Jenkins in your local machine also if you want to, but I suggest don't do, because in this training I need multiple machines for doing some very interesting practicals, right? So if you run in a local computer, some of the demo you can perform. Okay, demos you can perform, but there's some demos that is known as master slave setup. Okay, so if you want to perform those demos in your local machine, then it would be some could be would be some kind of hard for you then. Okay, yes, Roshan, we can configure HA in the Jenkins somehow. Okay, so Jenkins alone does not do, but we can add some extra tool on the top of the Jenkins to achieve the HA. Maybe you can use HA proxy, or maybe because Jenkins is a WAR file, Java archive. So any app server you can use to make it happen. Okay. For example, you can use what I say, WebLogic or WebSphere, those tool to make this high available, or simple HA proxy also you can use to configure it. Okay, but answer yes, we can configure high availability for the Jenkins. So, which folder Jenkins tool? I tell you with it in my next class. We need, even though they'll install lib Jenkins folder, but we know we need that concepts. In my next classes, I will let you know in detail, because we want to do a lot with the folder where this installed. Okay. Yes, Prashant, CI/CD is a part of SDLC. So in the SDLC, software development life cycles,